So you think you mastered photography? Think again. Even if weddings aren't your thing, I think every photographer should give it a shot. It's the ultimate challenge to hone your skills, to challenge your creativity, to test your ability to adapt quickly. And it makes you a better photographer. In this video, I'm going to tell you why shooting weddings, even just a couple weddings, will help you become a better, well-rounded photographer. What's up? I'm Jay LeBlanc, wedding photographer and photography educator. Now, I might be a little biased here because weddings are kind of my thing and I've been doing it for such a long time. I just truly believe that I think anybody who is serious about photography should at least try shooting a couple weddings. Some photographers think weddings are the holy grail and there's no way I'll ever be able to shoot a wedding. And other photographers think that it's too daunting. They don't want the pressure of having to be responsible for a once-in-a-lifetime moment in somebody else's life. And then there's other photographers that are just like, I'm not interested in weddings. That's just not my thing. You wedding photographers can have it. I'm gonna stay over here and shoot something else. And then some photographers are like, yep, weddings are it. That's all I want to do. And awesome, we're on the same page right now. But no matter what group you fall into, I think everybody should at least try 3 weddings, maybe a few more, just to experience what it's like. Little disclaimer here. I'm not saying go out there and market yourself as a wedding photographer and just say you're gonna shoot somebody's wedding with 0 experience. A wedding is somebody's once in a lifetime moment. You don't want your inexperience to potentially get in the way of capturing certain aspects of their day. So maybe go out there and try second shooting or third shooting for somebody else. Let them know that you will have no experience or minimal experience and learn what it's like to work under these conditions that a wedding day brings. Now, the number one reason I think you should try and shoot a wedding is because it involves so many different types of photography. 1 second, you're in the corner of the bridal suite, taking some of the lay flat shot images, maybe some pictures of her dress. You're a still life photographer. And then mom comes over, taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, can you grab a quick picture of the bride while she's getting her makeup done? Okay, well now you gotta switch gears. All right, I'm a fashion photographer. I need good lighting. I gotta make sure that everything looks good. I gotta make sure everything looks flattering for the bride. And then as soon as you're done with that shot, you turn around and there's mom saying, hey, get a picture of me with the flower girl. And then boom, we're a portrait photographer. We gotta make sure that we're in decent lighting and we gotta make sure the background looks good. And then it is going to be something one step above what they're getting on their cell phone because you want to help set yourself apart and show your value of why they need you versus just taking a picture on their cell phone. You're a landscape photographer as you capture the couple out in the environment and in the beautiful space that they chose to have their wedding. And then you're an architectural photographer as you capture the interior of the building that you want to show off, that venue the couple chose for a reason, and you want to make sure you are showing it in all of its beauty and glory. You're also a photojournalist. You're capturing those raw, candid moments that you can't recreate. And you have to be ready for them in a split second because when mom whispers to grandma something in her ear and you have a nice intimate moment between the groom's mother and her mother, you want to make sure that you capture that moment because that'll be something really special to not just the groom, but his mom and then her mom. Wedding photography just involves so many different types of photography, and it's really going to challenge you in your skills to learn how to quickly change from one mindset of being a product photographer 1 second to being a fashion photographer the next second. And the next thing, you are going to have to be one of the best problem solvers on that wedding day. A lot of the things that happen at a wedding fall back on the photographer. You have to be the one to make decisions about who, what, when, where, why. And if you have to quickly make alterations because somebody's running late or there's some other logistical issue going on, you have to be able to adapt on the fly quickly. And you still have a job to do. So if the venue's telling you, hey, no more pictures, we need the bride and groom to get ready for the ceremony, well then you gotta figure out, okay, I need to get XYZ shot later on. And how am I gonna do that in 5 minutes? Because I don't wanna take the bride and groom away from their party. Wedding days can often be very stressful for the couple. I hate to tell you, but you're probably going to be a little bit of a psychiatrist that day as well. You're going to help diffuse some of the problems that may arise on the day to make yourself look like that rock star. Show that couple why they hired you to be there. Big pro tip, carry snacks. Snacks are always a good thing. Or fruit snacks. Fruit snacks is where it's at. Who doesn't like fruit snacks? As a fashion photographer, you get to plan out your shoots. You get to pick a model, a location, an outfit, the lighting, most of the time. As a product photographer, you're spending time in a studio with lighting and sometimes a stylist and deliberately changing fine details about the product to enhance that picture. As a real estate photographer, somebody's probably cleaning that house for you beforehand. They're staging it, they're getting it ready for you. But on a wedding day, you don't get to pick the location. You don't get to pick the time of the day you're doing your pictures. Most of the time you won't have a stylist on hand to help you set up shots. You're not going to have somebody whose career is to make sure somebody looks good in pictures. You might have a bridal attendant who could potentially help you out, or you might have an assistant who could help you, but you're not having somebody whose job is to make somebody look good on camera. So even though we are that rock star capturing some of the most important details that day, it's not always so glorious. I have dealt with some seriously crappy situations when it came to logistics of a wedding day. And you have to somehow still come up with good pictures for your couples. I'll tell you one story that really sticks out in my head. There was this one couple who rented a shuttle bus, and they planned to have their church ceremony at 11 o'clock. And then after the church, we were gonna stop at a park for some pictures. And when I say park, I use that term lightly because there was nothing there. It was just this big, vast, open field of grass. Now here we are in this big open field, middle of July, 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. Sun beating down on us, 90 degrees. The bridal party is not happy because they do not like this heat. Bride and groom chose it. They love the heat. They wanted to be outside. They wanted to be in this park. Everyone else complaining a lot. And do you think that maybe gets to the bride and groom? It does a little bit. And we have that sun directly overhead, shining right down on us. You know, photographers usually try to avoid midday sun because that light is usually not the most flattering. So here we are in this field, sun beating down on us. Nobody's happy because of the heat, and it's falling on me. I have to come up with something interesting, create fun pictures, create a fun environment for this couple who is sweating through their wedding tux and dress, and then also help diffuse the situation with the tension that's building up between their bridal party and the couple getting married. Now, I know people say it's for the couple, it's for the bride and groom, it's their wedding day, it's all about them. Well, you know what? Sometimes bridal parties aren't the most cooperative, and they're gonna let you know how they feel about certain situations. And as the photographer, sometimes it relies on you to kind of diffuse that situation. So you take the bride and groom without the bridal party, tell them to go wait on the shuttle bus, and we're gonna go over here, get some great images. We take them over to the tree line with some shade, where we could get a couple shots of them not covered in sweat. And we have to make the most of what is a less than ideal situation. If anybody has ever been faced with a less than ideal situation at a wedding, please tell me in the comments below. I love a good wedding horror story. Even if you were a guest at the wedding, I want to hear it. Let's share some stories. Now, I know a lot of wedding photographers like to say they're introverts, and I would say the same is true about me, maybe. Depends on which one of my friends you're talking to. But on a wedding day, you have to be outspoken. You have to be very clear and concise with your thoughts and be able to control a large group of people. Because when we have a bridal party of 25 or a family combination of 30 people because we have their whole family flown in from another country, you have to be assertive. You have to tell them what you want and get the job done. If you're over here, quiet, second guessing yourself, people aren't going to take you seriously. You have to be assertive, be confident in what you're doing. Remember, you're the professional. They hired you for a reason, especially when the bridal party or family has been drinking beforehand. It could sometimes be really challenging to gather them all together for a picture. So making sure that you're loud and clear with what you want will help get your message across a little bit faster. It's time to face it. If you're gonna shoot a wedding, at some point in your wedding career, you're gonna have to learn flash. It's that simple. Unless you're only taking weddings that are during the daytime at beautiful, naturally lit wedding venues, at some point you're gonna have to use a flash. And a wedding, not the place to learn it. So before even going into a wedding, you should probably practice with your flash a little bit. So on the wedding day, you have an idea of how to use it, and you're gonna have to learn how to use it quickly. Because one second you might be taking pictures in this room where we have beautiful 20-foot tall white ceilings, and then you have to turn around and take a picture over by the bar real quick where the ceiling might only be 8 feet tall and it's painted black. Well, our flash settings are going to change very quickly, and all we did was turn around. So by shooting weddings, it's going to force you to learn how to use flash and use it quickly and make those adjustments on the fly. I don't know if everybody at the bar who is waiting for you to take a picture of them doing a shot is going to want to wait 15 minutes while you dial in those flash settings because you don't really know how to use your speed light. So probably my favorite reason of why I think you should shoot a wedding that's on this list is that the fact that you are capturing something for somebody that is truly priceless. There's no value that they could put on these images because you can't recreate them. You can't redo a wedding day. You're not going to be able to recreate every single moment that happened on that day. Sure, you can have the bride and groom put their tux and dress on again and go to a bridal session, but you're not going to be able to capture that true raw emotion of what happens on a wedding day. So the fact that you are able to give somebody something that means so much to them makes you feel really good about what you're doing. At least it does for me. I love shooting weddings because I am giving my couples something that is truly priceless. And my last reason why I think you should shoot weddings, this one's a little bit more of opinion, but they're a lot of fun. For the most part, everybody there is happy, they're having a good time, they're dancing, they're enjoying each other, they're having this big party. And guess what? They're all dressed up for you. Because who are you? You're the one capturing everything. Without you, it never happened, right? You get to go to these big, beautiful parties where everyone is in such good high spirits. You get to enjoy the day with the couple and all of the guests. And you get to make something that lives with that couple, their family, their friends, and their guests for the rest of their lives. Unlike pictures that get buried on social media and never get looked at again, or the pictures that are deep in your camera roll on your cell phone, wedding pictures, they get viewed over and over again. At least, when they have to post a happy anniversary picture on their story. Okay, so if you made it this far in the video, I would love it if you like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things. Leave a comment below. Tell me why you're thinking about doing a wedding. What made you click on this video in the first place? Or maybe you already shoot weddings and you just wanted to hear what I have to say. I want to hear some good wedding stories. I love a good wedding story. Even if you were a guest, let's hear it below. So you made it this far in the video and you're asking yourself, okay, I'm in. I want to try a wedding, but how do I get started? I would say the first and most important thing, learn your gear. On the wedding day, nobody's going to have sympathy for you if you don't know your gear. Learn your gear. It's just a must-do before you step foot into a wedding venue. I've said this before in other videos. If you don't know your gear, a wedding will become very difficult very quickly. Hopefully you don't just jump into a wedding and start shooting. Maybe you go out, you shadow a wedding photographer, you assist a wedding photographer. Not so much a shooting role, but more a role that you can observe and kind of learn what's going on, take it all in. And this will give you a better idea of what to expect. Weddings move fast. You have to be ready. If all of your pictures are coming out blurry for some reason, or all of your pictures are underexposed and you don't know why, you're gonna have to learn how to fix that quickly. Maybe you knocked into your manual focus switch and you accidentally put your lens into manual focus. Or maybe you changed the exposure settings on your camera and accidentally hit the lock button. And now you're wondering why you're turning your dials and nothing's happening. You have to learn how to troubleshoot fast. You're gonna have to also learn your speed light. Have at least one speed light at the bare minimum and learn how to use at least TTL. That will get you started, but learning the other settings that your flash has to offer as well will really help you as you start getting more into weddings if this is something you choose to do. Take a look at your local market. Find a photographer that maybe you like their style, maybe you like their personality, or maybe they shot a wedding that you were a guest at. Reach out to them. Ask them if you can assist or shadow them, or ask if they need a second shooter. Tell them that you're trying to learn photography and you admire them. Ask them questions. A lot of photographers will be happy to help you out. If you have a family member or a friend that's in a relationship, offer to do a shoot with them. Learn couples posing. Learn how it's like to work with two people interacting with each other to make a good picture. You can then also take these pictures and pitch them to other photographers who maybe you want to work with, or other couples as a portfolio to help get some work. Weddings are a great opportunity to learn a lot of different things about photography. I definitely think everybody should try them out. And after this video, you think maybe you're going to give them a shot? Let me know. Or if you have any questions regarding weddings, drop a comment below and I'll get back to you and help you out. Or maybe somebody else will even chime in and offer their assistance on it. The wedding photography community is a pretty strong one. And even if weddings aren't your thing, they'll definitely make you a better photographer. And until the next one, peace.